Good evening, everybody. All right, we're getting a little bit started a little bit late, but that was due to obvious technical difficulties. But tonight we have the honor of Peter Schultz being here with Heaven Publishing, and he's a co-editor of Option Success, and he's the author of Passage to Freedom, the Option Success Trading Package, the Winning Secret Trading Package, the Explosive Profit Package, and the Greatest Option Strategies on Earth. So tonight we have the good fortune of him showing us some of his techniques. And Peter, welcome to the Candlestick Forum. We're anxious to see what some of your techniques are.
Fantastic, Stephen. Thank you so much for having me. It's always an honor to be with you and your people. We've done this once before, and one of the things that I found which was delightful is that you tend to have really good folks that come to your webinars, and we've gotten some really good feedback from them, and it's just wonderful to be able to present again. Today's presentation is going to be how to identify and leverage momentum for explosive profits. And, you know, as you know, there's so many different ways to trade. And what we're going to talk about here this evening is being on kind of that far end of the risk and reward spectrum, where you can get in the path of some just really tremendous profits very quickly. There's some real fundamental ways to do that. And I'm going to show... If you're watching here right now, I'm going to show you some ways to make that, just about as efficient as you can possibly get, where you can actually get in several good trades per week, depending on which way the market's moving and how much action we have out there. So let's just get right to it. You're going to want to take some notes on some of these things, and I'm really excited to share this information with you. The first and most important point to acknowledge is the thing that makes people money on stocks is movement. And if you want to make a lot of money, you need consistent, sustained movement, and otherwise known as momentum. We want that stock moving, and that's what we're looking for. And I don't know if you've noticed, but on any given day, even if the market's really quiet and things aren't really doing a whole lot, there's always some stocks that are really taking off. And what we're going to work on is finding those stocks, really taking advantage of them, and exploiting them for the maximum amount of profits that we can. The key is finding stocks that are consistently heading in one direction and then gauging the strength and speed of that trend and the likelihood that it will continue. And here's a good example right here of a chart of the S&P 500. And you can see this is what we're looking for here. I'm going to get a little writing implement here. And you can see this steady momentum going up. And then it dips a little bit, and then it really takes off to the upside again. Now, what we're looking for with a momentum pattern is what we want to see is these little incremental, not wild moves in any direction, but this steady climb here. This is a momentum trader's dream. Whenever you see a trend with these steady little ticks heading in one direction, just chipping higher and higher and higher, you know you've got an escalator that you literally want to climb on board with a good position and start getting some of that movement. That's really what you want to see. Once you've found stocks that are really moving and that have an excellent chance of continuing that movement, doesn't it make sense to make as much money as possible from that movement? And so what we need is a profit amplifier. If you've got a really good chart, you're really confident that thing's heading in a certain direction, you want to make as much money off of that movement as you possibly can. And I think we all acknowledge that more money faster is the right direction. So the best profit amplifier out there is options, particularly lower priced options. I know some of you are already options traders, and I'm preaching to the choir here. If you haven't really taken advantage of what options can do for you, this is just a tremendous application for options. When you find the right chart pattern and you combine that with options, the profits can just be tremendous. The reason options are so attractive is a small movement in the price of the stock creates an exaggerated move in the price of the option. So right here on our chart, see this tiny little move right here? So we just get this is just a tiny little move between these two spots right here. Well, let's see what that equates to here. So, you know, I've got these little annotations here. Let's see if we can clear. So let's clear those off of there. So what I've done is I've blown this chart up. You can see that you've got a relatively small move right here. This is just a 27-point move on the SPX, and we're talking about an index that at this particular time was about $1,560, a little bit below that. So if you would have bought the S&P 500 like a stock trader, you would have got a 27-point move or a 1.7% movement right here. You can see that. You can also easily do the math. We're just a little bit below 1560. We're kind of anticipating that move. We're buying a little bit above it, so we're buying an option that's a little bit out of the money. So we buy the May 1560 calls for $7.90, and each one of these represents a day, so just 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8 days later, you got a down bar and you're out. So you're in this trade. There's 5 trading days in a week, so about a week and a half. And you bought those for $7.90, and you sold out of them just 8 trading days later for $25.30 for the 20% return. So the reason I'm showing you this is just to illustrate the difference between buying a stock and buying an option. The difference can be absolutely huge. Once again, I know for an awful lot of you, I'm just preaching to the choir here, so you don't need a whole lot of convincing. What we need is a really good way to take advantage of options to really maximize those returns. So here's why things have never been better for options traders. So if you are, if you're considering options, if you've just gotten into options in the last few years, I don't know if you realize how good things are right now. If you know what to look for, it's just a tremendous time. So the reason why options are so good to trading, narrow bid-ask spreads, and weekly options expirations. So I happen to really like Thinkorswim. Here's their platform. This is the SPY. This is the S&P 500 ETF, one of the most popular things to trade that there is. Excuse me. So let's just take a look at penny-priced options. So right now, at this particular screenshot, the SPY was at 169.14. You go real close to the money right here, and you see that the bid and the ask, this is a screenshot right when the market was open, actually yesterday, and you see that that's 123 by 124. So that's a penny price between the bid-ask spread, and the options themselves are priced in pennies. So back in the day when I first started trading options, back in the mid-1990s, you had nickels, dimes, and quarters. That was the narrowest they could get. Things have gotten so gosh darn efficient in the last few years, and this is all completely to our benefit. You know, instead of the market maker making a fortune, you know, we get that money. So we got penny-priced options. The bid-ask spreads are incredibly narrow. I can remember times when an option was 50 cents bid by $1 ask. The gosh darn thing had to double for you to make any money. Pretty tough to make money. Now, this is a penny. I mean, this is as good as trading stocks. I mean, this is fantastic. And then, of course, we have the weekly options expiration. So right here you see the August expiration. And that's just coming up a week from tomorrow. And then we've got if you look down here, you've got these different weekly expirations. So you can pick your expiration time. You can get just at on that perfect part of the time decay curve. So you know you have just enough time for an event to happen while you're still buying relatively cheap options. So there's just some tremendous advantages right now. So if you haven't gotten into options or if you've gotten into it recently, it's amazing what's available to us now. So any little movement in the underline goes right to the bottom line with these really efficiently priced options. And I just also want to make a note right now that not all underlines, and the underline in this case would be the SPY, have efficiently traded options. If there's some oddball stock out there that doesn't get a lot of options volume, you're still going to be back to the old days where you have really inefficient pricing. But if we stick to some really good stocks and indices and ETFs, boy, it can just be the most efficient way to trade. Once you get into this, believe me, and you start making some money, there's a good chance you won't be trading anything else. So let's move on. I just want to point out how good it is right now. So combine those advantages, so this efficiency, with stocks that are either trending strongly or breaking out, and you've got a recipe for some very impressive profits. So right here we have efficient options plus momentum stocks equals a happy trader. So it's a happy us. So chart patterns for momentum, I just want to point out right now, are different than chart patterns for breakouts. But they can both make you a fortune because they both entail really big movement. And just remember what we said at the very beginning. What we're after here is movement. If you're a directional trader, and particularly if you're a directional options trader, you need a lot of movement and you need it quickly because all these options have an expiration date. So we want that movement to happen quickly. We want it to be dramatic. And the more movement there is in our direction, the more money we're going to make. And the more money we're going to make faster. So let's just take a look here at momentum setups versus breakout setups. So momentum patterns are pretty easy to identify. Pre-breakouts are a little bit trickier. Now, you can sure make money on a breakout after it happens because a lot of time you'll get a continuation of that breakout. But it's really nice to know some patterns and some setups to kind of get yourself in the path of the breakout and start looking at it before it happens. So here's a good example right here of a momentum pattern. It's just that steady upward climb that we've talked about before where we're just ticking up higher every day. When you do tick down on a red day here on a red candlestick, you never do tick below the uptrend line. So you just don't care. You're good with it. You just stick with that trade and it just keeps climbing. Literally, it's like getting on the escalator and watching that thing tick up every week or every few days. And with an option in particular, you can just really rack up the profits. This is a breakout. Now, breakouts are super easy to identify once they happen. But before that, you're just basically looking at a stock that's going down here. Now, this big green bar right here that you see would be a great indication to get in on that trade because this is you see a downtrend line here. Once that thing gets broken, especially with this kind of volume that you see right here, you're going to want to get in on that trade. Because you know a breakout's coming. And boy, look at this gap. Look at what happened. Just boom. All of a sudden, if you were positioned in that before it happened, you'd be making some money just like instantaneously. So here's 5 powerful breakout patterns for explosive profits. And there are others out there. I know that the people that follow Stephen are super into patterns and candlestick patterns and breakouts. You may be familiar with these, but sometimes it's good to see them in a different light, in a different way, and to really to learn them and to see them and to see some things that you can take advantage of. So I also just want to point out that you don't need 100 patterns. You don't need 50 patterns. You need just a few good patterns that you know that you can recognize that you see over and over and over again, and you go, boy, when I see that, I see dollar signs. I see something that I can take advantage of and make money on. So the 5 are the bull flag pattern, the ascending triangle, the failed descending triangle, the flat base breakout, and the measured move. These are 5 of my favorites. Made a ton of money on these, and I just want to share them with you. So here's the bull flag pattern. Now, this is about as dramatic as you can get. So you see this flag heading south here, and I just want to say that this is really nice to see in an overall uptrend. So for say many weeks here, the stock has been going up, and then you see it go down in this real measured way here. Right here, when you see this this spot right here where it actually pops above the line, that's your indication something's going on here, and you should really consider getting in. The next day here, where it starts to take off, you want to be in for sure somewhere in this section here because this thing is going higher. This is on FSLR, and the calls we recommended on this were up 250%, as you can see, in a matter of a week. So these are just March 14th, March 21st, 28th. These are just a few days apart here, and you can see how much this moved in just a few days. There is just a huge amount of money to be made on these patterns when they really start moving. This one is the ascending triangle pattern, and what this is you've got a stock that keeps bumping up against resistance, But on the downside, it never really gets a whole lot lower. In fact, it creates a line where it's actually rising here, and it forms this triangle pattern. You know this thing is trying to break out. The bulls won't let it get too low. The bears are losing conviction here. Man, this thing's getting ready to rock and roll. And you see this big gap right here, and you know it's time to get in. You can get in ahead of time if you want, or you can wait for the gap and you can see where this thing has confirmed itself. Once you do, I mean, it just goes up quickly. The July 150 calls, this is another recommendation we made, are up 250% in just 4 days. I mean, this is incredible, the amounts of money that you can make in just a really short period of time. And these aren't flukes. I mean, we're doing these all the time. This is a failed descending triangle pattern. And I just want to point out that any of the patterns that I'm showing you work just as well on the downside in reverse. So normally, this is the opposite of our ascending pattern. So normally, this pattern right here would be a bearish pattern. So when you have a bearish pattern and it breaks out to the upside and you have this gap right here the next day, you know, hey, man, the bears lost, the bulls won, this thing is going up, and that's exactly what happened. Well, in this particular case, we got another descending triangle right here and another breakout just a few days later. In this case, we recommended the July 215 calls that are up 220% in just 4 days. Let's see what else we have here. So this is the flat-based breakout pattern. This is probably the one people know better than any other, and this is the one that just screams you got to get in. So what a flat base is a stock is just going sideways here for quite a while. And what I call this is the stock is building a launching pad. And that's exactly what's going on here. When you see a breakout like this, you see this big green bar here, and you see it happen on pretty good volume, you know what? They just fired the starting gun. You are just obligated to take a position. And I mean, this thing climbs. So as you can see, for many, many days here, this thing was stuck in about a $1 range. And, you know, by the way, these patterns work in any time frame. So it doesn't matter if you're day trading, if you're trading, you know, big swing trades, whatever you're doing, whatever it is, it works in any time frame. Well, so this thing takes off, and here we are. You know, we're off to the races here. It's going, and we recommended the December 40 calls. You know, at the time we knew that this thing was getting ready to break out. Everything lined up. The December 40s were a little bit out of the money, and lo and behold, they're up 800%. In 1 week. Pretty exciting returns, especially when these are actual recommendations. Okay, this is our last pattern here that we're gonna take a look at as far as breakout patterns, and this is called a measured move. So can you see how this thing pops higher, and then you have a certain amount that it's moved here, and then you can just say, okay, well, here's our new, what was old resistance has turned into new support. And you can actually measure this distance, and it's very similar. Each one of these distances are about the same. And we just see this measured, or, you know, another way to call this, or another thing that I've called this is a stair-step pattern higher, where you have just these very even moves going higher, and it's just a stair-step. If you put a trend line underneath the whole thing, you'd see it go underneath all the bottoms here. But it just looks like a set of stairs that you can just walk your options up. In this case, the April 55 calls are up 35% in just 2 days. So you can see this is actually just a really short period of time here. This whole chart is just 2 days. So you can make a lot of money in a very short time when you have markets and stocks that are really moving. So these patterns and others can make you a fortune. The problem is, out of the thousands of optionable stocks available, how do you quickly and easily find the best setups? And this is the biggest question we get from most traders. They go, well, Peter, you know, that's just wonderful. You've showed me all these really great setups, but there's thousands of stocks out there. I mean, I work for a living. I only have so much time. I need to find the best trades. How can I do that? What can I do? Well, we've spent, you know, we have the same problem, and, you know, we like to trade. We like to make money. We need to put the, you know, the machines to work for us. We need to put the tools to work for us. So we've spent several $100,000 in over 7 years perfecting a program that has an amazing track record for finding winning trade setups. And here's what this program does. Our goal is to find stocks with the three main momentum drivers going for them. So the first and most important thing is stocks trading in the direction of the overall market. So as you may or may not know, about 75% of stocks go in the direction of the overall market at any one time. So what we want literally is, trading is such a game of probabilities, and what we want is as many things going for us as we possibly can. We want all the big guys on our team. And one of the biggest guys you can have is the overall market. That's a tremendous win. If you ever seen anybody try and kick a field goal into the wind, it's pretty tough. But when the wind's going with you is when you start getting those just outrageous field goals that go into the record books. Because that wind will carry your ball across the goal line. And we love that. We love having advantages. And that's so important. So one of the first things we do is we determine overall market direction for the time period we're going to be in the trade, and we share that with you. And we trade stocks that are going in the direction of the overall market. So the other thing we want to do is find stocks with a chart pattern ready to break out or showing substantial momentum. And we've seen those chart patterns for breakouts. We've seen the momentum patterns. Super, super important. You can have great fundamentals on a stock and have it go down if the overall market's going down and vice versa. So we need a chart pattern that's really getting ready to move in the direction that we want it to. But at the same time, fundamentals are important, and we don't want to bet against the fundamentals. So the third thing that we look for is fundamentals pointing in the same direction as its chart. So we don't want anything that's going in the opposite direction. We don't want some things going for us and other things not going for us. There's enough trades out there, there's enough stocks out there where we can find stocks and we can find setups with all three momentum drivers headed in the same direction. So I've tried doing it the other way. I've tried taking bullish bets on stocks with really horrible fundamentals and earnings, and it just doesn't work because some little piece of news comes out on this crappy stock, this crappy company, and it screws your whole trade up. I've also tried, taking bearish positions because the market was going down or whatever on fantastic stocks. And sure enough, some little piece of news comes out about how great they're going to do. Their CEO comes out and brags up the company. The thing will just turn around right there and go up in the face of a declining market. So all three of these are super, super important. And if you can make a trading career out of just trading stocks that have all three momentum drivers heading in the same direction, you're going to do really well. You're going to make a lot of money. And I just want you to know it does not matter with options whether the stock is heading higher or heading lower. It's just as easy. This is one of the things I love about options. It's just as easy to buy a call as it is a put. It's not like shorting stock. You don't have to find somebody out there that's willing to lend it to you. You don't have to go through all this rigmarole. There's not uptick rules and downtick rules. You just buy a put. You just buy the thing. If the stock's going down, you're positioned to make money. Same thing on the upside. If you think it's going up, you buy a call. Really nice. But the most important thing is to have everything going in your favor that you possibly can. And I think if you think about it, you probably agree with me on that. So this process is actually a huge amount of work for us and for our big bank of computers that's sifting through these stocks all day, every day. But that can make it very easy for you, and that's what we want. We want a service that's easy for you. And let me just show you. Let me pull back the curtain, show you exactly what we do here. We start off with a universe of 6,000 stocks. There's only so many optionable stocks. We're looking at 6,000 stocks. Our computer programs are trying to recognize certain chart patterns, certain really attractive setups, some of which I just showed you. So you kind of have a clue as to what we're looking for here. So what that does is it gets it down to the 25 most promising stocks. The reason we do 25 is because that's about how many we can go over in one day by hand. And by the way, we need to go through those before the market closes. So we get to work, we roll up our sleeves, and we start looking at them one by one to narrow it down even further. So we want really the perfect chart pattern. And finally, we lift the hood on each candidate to find fundamentals that match the chart. So we want improving fundamentals for our bullish picks, and we want deteriorating fundamentals for our bearish picks, because once again, We want all three of those momentum drivers going for us. We don't want to go into any trades kind of half-baked or half-cocked. We want to have confidence in this thing. We want to know this is a really, really, really great trade. Well, every day, all of this work, all this computer programming, all the sifting, and all the individual looking that we do for the fundamental analysis and the chart analysis, every day that system produces the stock most likely to go up and the stock most likely to go down. Now you might ask yourself, well listen, Peter, if it's a bullish market and everything's going straight up, why do I need a stock that's going to go down? Well, you don't. Not right now. But wouldn't it be nice to have those on a watch list kind of set aside ready, just in case the market changes direction? And does the market change direction sometimes, and does it happen fairly quickly? So if the market's going up and it's a really bullish market, yeah, we want to concentrate on that stock that's going up. But we're going to set these bearish stocks aside. This gives us a really balanced approach to the market, so we're not really all tied into bullish trades or bearish trades. We've got watch lists going that you can easily access that have a list of both. So, this is the result of this program. This is the result of using this methodology. So, we've got VMW, the August 75 calls. We just did this trade up 250% in 1 week. You want to see gaps. You like gaps. How about this gap? The stock gap from about just above $71 up to above $80 overnight. We were in this. This is when we made the recommendation, made this beautiful bull flag pattern right here, and then just gapped straight up. Beautiful trade. This is one subscribers actually got into. What else do we have here? This one went up $1,000 overnight. This is just if you would have bought the stock. Went up from $15 to, you can see where we recommended it. It went from $15 up to $16.20 overnight. That's the stock. What would have happened, on 1,000 shares? What would have happened if you would have bought the options on that? Here's Jazz. Shows where we recommended it right here. Great time to get in the trade. Just followed it right on up. Not a single down candle. Oh my goodness. The calls are up 200% in how many? 5, 6 trading days. Very rapid movement on these things. You get in the right stock. You just do not have to wait for payday. Pretty exciting. Here's NQ. This is just a really recent one. We saw that it broke out here. Got into it actually down here, but the stock never traded below our entry point. Never gave us a reason to get out. And then here it just went right on up. We're only in this thing a week. This is not a long waiting period. And the stock's up 20%. Once again, what would you have made on the options? So here, works on the downside too. So here's some of our, I don't know if you remember, in May and June, the market was kind of heading lower. We were starting to get into some bearish trades. Looked really good. ARMH, beautiful downtrend here. Doesn't get any better than this. Stock trades below 40, and our recommendation, the July 40 puts, are up 100%. So that was a really nice double. Okay. Got another one. Here, daily report got in here. The chart had been going down for quite a ways, and what do you know? We get a gap down here, gaps back up, but it never really goes above our entry point, and never had a really good reason to get out, and it just rolled over very quickly. And the July 35 puts are up 50% in just a very, very short period of time. So, as you can see, this method is really, really effective, and I'm going to show you how to kind of take the guesswork out of it. We love you can call them unfair advantages if you want. They're really not. This is just a matter of research and just good chart reading, fundamentals, putting in the work, and finding really good trade setups. Let me show you what you get so you kind of know what you're getting. You get a daily report. So this is just, I pulled this from yesterday. You get 2 stocks a day. Bullish are in green here. This is KORS. This is a complete write-up on it. Down below this, my screenshot didn't get the whole thing in here, but down below this, it gives you a tactic. A lot of the times we'll give you an actual, sometimes we'll just say the stock is going down, buy the option that you like the best. Other times we say, hey, listen, I do this with a partner, a guy named Pete Stoltz, former floor trader on the Chicago options. He's commercially traded, institutionally traded thousands of contracts a day. I got a lot of respect for my partner, Pete. He's really, really good at this. Pete Stolzer's, and he does the analysis here, and he'll make an actual trade recommendation. So he'll tell you what to get in on. So this is a bullish pick. You can look it up right now if you want. Go to your charts and look up KORS, see how it performed since yesterday. And if you scroll down, you get this entire pick. And if you scroll down and you go far enough down, you'll see this arrow separates them. So there's a green arrow pointing up. That's your bullish pick. There's a red arrow pointing down. That's your bearish pick. Take a look at American Eagle Outfitters, AEO, and see how that's done over the last few days. That's our bearish pick. Now, if you're an active trader, can you imagine getting 2 of these a day? And it's not just, you don't get just a ticker symbol. You get complete write-up on the thing. I mean, you get the fundamental analysis. You get the chart analysis. You get which way we think it's going to go. You get what option looks like is ready to go, which is the best. If it's a bull market and this is a bearish trade, we'll tell you, hey man, this looks really bearish, but don't trade this right now. It's all about the bull. It's all about the bull market. It's all about the up stocks. You know, look at the green stock. Look at the up stock. We'll tell you the same thing the other way around. So, you know, it's amazing to get 2 stocks a day that you don't have to trade. In fact, I don't recommend you trade either one of them right off the bat, because here's our secret weapon. This is what's cool. I love making stocks prove themselves before you ever invest a dime. So every single pick we get on the daily report, so that's 2 picks a day in detail, is added to this live updates page. So what this page does, it's dynamically updated. It's a dynamically updated watch list. It's as easy as a mouse click. I mean, it's right there. Live updates right off to the right. You click on that, and here's what you get. You get, first of all, you have every single recommendation we've made on this green bar over here. And the fastest moving stocks rise to the top of the page. And this is actually by change that day. So this is a screenshot I just took in the middle of the day. We got LTD has gone up $3.15 already today. On a $60 stock, that's a 5% move. It's probably moved even more. We've got yesterday here. We got the day before and the day before. So you can quickly see the trend. See this one here, HUM, Humana. That's gone up for the last 4 days in a row. And you got a trend there. You want to click on that. When you click on it, when you click on the ticker right here, it's going to take you to a chart. And you'll be able to see, depending on what you click on, a year-long chart, a 6-month chart, a weekly chart. You'll be able to home in on and see the pattern instantly. And then if you want to see the write-up on it, if you want to see all the fundamentals, you want to see the entire breakdown, when we recommended it, the entire write-up on it, you just go over here, you find HUM, you click on that, and it goes right to the write-up. So SWI was up 184 by the time I took the screenshot. BEAV is up $1.32. You see all the way down. Here's a $32 stock, Microsoft, was up 90 cents. If you really want a trend, you can find one like Humana that's just been going up. Now, this is pretty impressive, you guys, because here it's up 192 today because the market was rebounding. But yesterday the market was falling. It's up 7 cents. The day before that the market was falling. It was up 53 cents. The day before that the market was falling. It's up $1.36. Do you think from a momentum standpoint, if you're wanting to trade to the upside, this is a stock that you want to take a look at? This watch list is so unbelievably cool because you don't have to just take a stock and guess that it's going to go higher. You look here and you see the stocks that are consistently rising to the top of this list are stocks that you want to get in on. I mean, it's just that easy. If you're an active trader, if you want to make a lot of trades and make a lot of money in a really short period of time, I just can't think of a better way to do it. You know, the name of the service is Option Success, and I'll tell you something, we've got people on this service for years. They never get off. They're making their living off of this thing. We've got a few institutional hedge funds that are on this thing. It is an incredible tool. Okay, this is, if you scroll down, you'll get to Pete's market commentary during the day that separates these 2 lists, that's where he tells you which direction the stock market is likely headed, so you know which side to trade. But you scroll down below that, and this is the bearish watch list. So all the bearish trades, all the bearish ticker symbols are in red. You know they're bearish. And this is just the opposite. The stock that is dropping the fastest moves to the top. So here at this particular time, the market was rebounding, so not too many bearish trades, but this one's up 14 cents. Day before it was down, or excuse me, down 14 cents. Day before it was down 89 cents, then down 23 cents, down 6 cents. You got a heck of a trend here. This thing is dropping like a rock. That's what you want to see for a bearish position. But if the market's rebounding, you don't want to do bearish trades. You wait till the market rolls over, and then you hit this list and you hit it hard. And you've got all of them lined up, all ready to go. Like I say, if you're an active trader, this is like a smorgasbord. It is so much fun. And this is something that I check into on a daily basis and just see what's going on. So as you can see, this combination is the most effective I've ever seen for creating directional options profits. And we just have one right after the other. Don't get in on every trade. You don't need to. There's 2 trades a day. That's 10 a week. Complete write-ups. It's not just a ticker. You get a complete write-up on each trade. You can pick and choose, and you can cherry pick. You go to that live updates page, and you trade off of that. And these are the kind of profits that you get. And I could show you a zillion of these. You know, this is just a really, really, really effective way to trade directionally. So I just want to say that if you want to start making these kind of gains, this is the perfect time for you to start. The markets, if you're a market watcher, you know the market is getting ready for some really big moves. We've seen a little bit of a trend change. It's kind of chopping around. We don't know if it's making a top, but something big is coming. And there's an incredibly compelling offer that goes with this webinar. Now, if there was no offer at all and you just joined at the regular price, believe me, it'd be worth it. And the service costs $97 per month, and if you make even 1 trade per month, it's worth that amount of money easy. But for this event, we've got an even better deal. We've got 3 months for only $231 a month. Think about what you're getting on a daily basis. And this is $77 per month. That's it. So that's an incredibly good deal, but I'm going to throw some things in here to sweeten the pot, make it a little bit on the irresistible side. In addition to that, you're going to get 4 complete momentum trading videos with your subscription. And these not only teach you about how to trade momentum and breakouts, kind of like what we've talked about here, but it teaches you how to really use this service. I mean, how to really wring it out, wring out that washcloth and get every bit of profit out of it that you possibly can. It's a cool service. It'll teach you how to read all those columns. If you got into the live update page and you saw those columns, it shows you how to use it, how to really use the service and take advantage of it. Really want you to have these momentum trading videos. And so that's, as soon as you log in, you'll see them off to the side. You just click on them and you can watch them. They're not super long. They're about 15 minutes each, but they're worth their weight in gold. Want to give you another bonus here. You get the 7 Keys to Explosive Profits training package, including the full text and webinars. Here's the text down here. This is a package we sell every day on the website for $395, worth every penny. It's really complete. I don't even have the whole thing complete yet. I'm keep adding things. The 7th key is the psychology of trading. Working on some research on that right now. It's tremendous. You're going to love it when that gets added, and like I say, that should be over the next few weeks here. Working on it right now. There's a lot of fantastic information in that package. This is huge. And in addition to the text and everything you get there, you also get the 7 Keys to Explosive Profits training video set. In addition to that, you're going to get lifetime upgrades. So normally when somebody pays $395 for this, for that amount of money, they get lifetime upgrades. Every new webinar, every new piece of information we add to it, every value-added thing we add to that package, you get it for free for the rest of your life. Well, for this event, and we've absolutely never offered this before, I can guarantee you, you're going to get this by just subscribing. And in addition, you get to subscribe at a discount. So absolutely no reason not to get started. If you like to trade, if you're an active trader, I'm really excited about having you on board. So just to kind of wrap up, what you get is you get your Option Success subscription, and you see that right here. You see a little bit of a newsletter here. You get the 4 momentum trading videos right here. You're going to teach you how to throw darts, hit the bullseye. You're going to get videos, so you can watch in addition to being able to read. You get this 3 bonus special that we talked about, and you get the complete $395 7 Keys to Explosive Profits package. So you get all of that Really excited to provide that for you. I want you to have success. I want you to email Pete and I. Let us know how you're doing with this. You know, you can cherry pick the absolute best setups and just get into the ones you want. Even if you made just one trade a week, you could do super, super well with this service. So I really appreciate you being here. This is it's an exciting time. We've got a huge amount of movement over this last year. I think we're going to get a huge amount in the second half of the year. You know, all the pundits are kind of trying to figure out which way the economy is going to go, and we don't care. We just want to see that movement in the market, and that's movement we can take advantage of. You get two really good opportunities every day, plenty for you to trade off of. And once again, I appreciate you being here, and I'm really excited to see you on board. So this momentumwebinar.com is where you want to go. Unfortunately, this isn't clickable, but I think Stephen's going to send out a link to make it clickable for you. But if you just want to type this into your browser, we got a special page set up for you, a special store, and you can go there and take advantage of that. So I love traders, love talking to traders. I'm really glad you're here and you're watching. We got some exciting things going on in the market. I wish you a lot of success. I hope we can get together and make some money together. And appreciate you being here, and I appreciate Stephen you letting me present here. Very exciting. Hope to see you inside the site, and hope to see you soon. Take care.
Peter, thank you very much. Good stuff. Everybody, this is all information that if it can put the probabilities in your favor, you want to put this in your mental arsenal. So anything that we can do to add to making good trades, the better off the probabilities. So, Peter, thank you. That was good stuff. And thank you, everybody, for coming tonight. We'll see you in the chat rooms.
Thank you, Stephen. It was a pleasure.